The dashboard clock blinks 3:17 p.m. when Mark Chen turns into the driveway of his two-story home in Lekki Phase 1. He forgot his laptop, the one with the client presentation due tomorrow. The front door isn't locked. His wife Sarah always locks it. Inside, vanilla candles burn on the living room table. Her favorite scent. But there's something else in the air, a tension he can't name. Upstairs, the shower runs. He climbs the stairs slowly, briefcase still in hand. Their wedding photo watches him from the wall, him in a black tuxedo, her in white lace, both smiling like they'd discovered something the rest of the world was still searching for. The bedroom door sits half open. Her laptop glows on the unmade bed, screen awake. A video call window fills the display. A man's face stares back at him, Jake from her office, the one who texted her work stuff at midnight. His shirt hangs unbuttoned at the collar. He's laughing at something. Then Jake speaks to the empty room. Can't wait for Friday, babe. Same hotel. Mark's hand hovers over the keyboard. His wedding ring catches the light. He takes a screenshot. Opens the message history, scrolls fast, photographs everything with his phone. 6 months of messages. Hotel receipts. Voice notes he doesn't have the stomach to play. He downloads it all to a USB drive from his keychain. Closes the laptop exactly as he found it. Walks downstairs like a ghost. Pours a glass of water with steady hands. Sits at the kitchen island. Waits. Sarah appears 10 minutes later, hair wet, towel wrapped around her body. She jumps when she sees him. Hey babe. You scared me. What are you doing home? Mark smiles. Forgot my laptop. Traffic was light. She kisses his cheek. Her lips are cold. You're so forgetful lately. Everything okay? Everything's perfect, he says. He never said a word that day. Let me take you back 8 years. Mark and Sarah met at a tech conference in Abuja. She was presenting on digital marketing strategies. He was the quiet software engineer in the third row who asked the smartest question during Q&A. Coffee turned into dinner. Dinner turned into weekend trips to Calabar. Within a year, they were married in a ceremony their friends still talk about. 2 kids followed, Emma, now 8, and David, 6. Both have Sarah's smile and Mark's thoughtful eyes. They bought the house in Lekki 3 years ago. 4 bedrooms, a small garden where the kids play football, a swing set Mark built himself one Saturday while Sarah filmed him for Instagram. 6 months ago, Sarah got promoted to senior VP at the marketing firm where she'd worked for 5 years. The celebration dinner was loud, full of champagne and friends taking photos. Mark had been so proud he teared up during his toast. Their friends called them #couple goals in every comment section. Every Sunday, they took the kids to church, then ate lunch at Sarah's mother's house in Sawyer. Her parents adored Mark, called him our son before they called him son-in-law. Every night, Sarah scrolled through her phone under the covers while Mark read business books beside her. He thought she was checking work emails. The kids slept down the hall in rooms painted with clouds and stars. Mark never thought anything of it. Why would he? But back to that Tuesday. Mark sits at the kitchen island, glass of water untouched, while Sarah makes small talk about her day. She mentions a client meeting that ran long, a presentation that went well, her mother calling about Sunday lunch. He nods at the right moments. Asks about the kids. She says they're at her sister's place for the afternoon. I thought I'd get some work done in peace, she says, tying her robe tighter. Then maybe we could order Thai food? Watch something. Sounds good, Mark says. His phone vibrates in his pocket. He doesn't check it. That night, after Sarah falls asleep, Mark goes to his study. The USB drive sits heavy in his hand. He opens the files. The messages start innocent enough. Work chatter, meeting schedules. Then they shift. Compliments about her presentation. Inside jokes. Good morning texts that arrive before Mark's alarm goes off. Then photos. Then plans. Friday, same place? I'll get the room with the view you liked. Can't stop thinking about last night. Delete these after you read them. Mark counts 17 hotel visits over 6 months. Always Fridays. Always the Radisson in Victoria Island. 40 minutes from their home, far enough that no one they know would spot them. He downloads everything to 3 separate drives. Hides 2 in his office safe. Keeps 1 in his car. Then he opens his laptop and starts planning. Here's what you need to understand about Mark Chen. He's an engineer. He solves problems by breaking them into smaller problems. Emotions don't cloud his logic, they fuel it. So he builds a strategy the way he'd build software. Step by step. Testing each move before committing. Step 1. Money. At 2:14 a.m. on a Wednesday, while Sarah sleeps, Mark prints 6 months of bank statement from her personal account, the one she opened for savings last year. He highlights the transfers, $8,400 to an account he doesn't recognize. Then another $8,400. Then another. $42,000 total. He photographs every page. The next morning at breakfast, while the kids eat cereal and fight over the iPad, Mark says casually, "Hey, we should update our life insurance beneficiaries. Haven't looked at that stuff in years." Sarah laughs, kissing David's forehead. "Why? We're not going anywhere." "Just being responsible," Mark says. "I'll handle it." She doesn't notice when he removes her name from everything. Step 2. Legal. 2 weeks later, Mark drives 40 minutes to Ikoyi during his lunch break. Sits across from a divorce attorney named Mrs. Okafor in a glass office overlooking the lagoon. He slides a folder across her desk, 2 inches thick. Screenshots. Bank statements. Hotel receipts he pulled from Sarah's email. A timeline he built in Excel. Mrs. Okafor flips through it without expression. She's seen worse, but not by much. "How do you want to play this?" she asks. "I want the house. Full custody. And I want her to know I knew for months before I did anything." Mrs. Okafor almost smiles. "That can be arranged." Step 3. Assets. Over the next 3 months, Mark becomes a ghost in his own life. Saturday mornings, while Sarah takes the kids to gymnastics, he loads boxes into a storage unit in Oja. His grandfather's watch collection. The vintage wine they were saving for a special occasion. Important documents. His father's journals. The antique camera collection worth more than their car. He tells Sarah his decluttering. She kisses him and calls him Mr. Organized. Step 4. The house. In August, Mark mentions over dinner that their tax attorney suggested refinancing the house to save money. "There's paperwork," he says. "Boring stuff. I'll handle it if you just sign where I mark." Sarah signs without reading. She trusts him. One of those documents is a quitclaim deed. The house transfers entirely into his name. She signs it between bites of jollof rice while helping Emma with homework. Step 5. Evidence. Every night, Mark texts Sarah goodnight with heart emojis. Every reply gets screenshot and saved. Mark: "Good night beautiful, can't wait to see you tomorrow." Sarah: "Night babe, sweet dreams." Mark: "Love you." Sarah: "Love you more." He saves 347 messages. On Fridays, when she says she's working late, he tracks her phone. Watches the blue dot move to the Radisson. Stay for 3 hours. Return home. She always comes back smelling like hotel soap and lies. He says nothing. Just kisses her forehead and asks about her day. 6 months after the discovery, Sarah turns 35. She wants a party, nothing huge, just close family and friends at Terraculture in Victoria Island. The restaurant overlooks the lagoon, all warm wood and soft lighting. Mark books the private room. Invites everyone. Sarah's parents, her younger sister Monica, his own brother David, their closest friends, Mike and Talou, James and Kimi, even old friends from their wedding. "And Jake. Invite him," Mark says when Sarah hesitates. "He's your co-worker. It'd be weird not to." Sarah lights up. "You're so thoughtful, babe." Jake arrives in a fitted shirt, nervous smile, handshake too firm when he meets Mark at the door. The table seats 16. Mark arranges it carefully. Sarah at the head, her parents to her left, the kids beside them in party hats. Jake ends up directly across from Mark. Perfect. Dinner arrives, pepper soup, suya skewers, jollof rice, grilled fish. Everyone eats and laughs. Emma tells a story about her art class. David shows his grandfather a drawing of a dinosaur. Mark watches Sarah glow in the candlelight. She's beautiful tonight. Gold dress, hair in curls, lipstick the color of wine. She has no idea what's coming. Dessert arrives, a 3-tier cake, vanilla and chocolate, covered in gold leaf. 35 candles flicker as everyone sings. Sarah closes her eyes to make a wish. Mark stands, wine glass raised. The room quiets. To my beautiful wife, he begins. His voice is steady, calm. 8 years ago, I married my best friend. We built a life together. A home. A family. 2 incredible kids. Emma and David smile up at him. Sarah, you've taught me so much. About patience. About trust. He pauses. About truth. Something in his tone shifts. Jake's smile falters. Mark reaches into his jacket and pulls out a gold-embossed envelope. Slides it across the table. Happy birthday, honey. Sarah laughs, thinking it's a gift card or tickets to something special. Her parents lean in, curious. She opens it. The room seems to tilt. Inside, divorce papers, stamped and signed by his attorney. And underneath, a stack of 8 by 10 glossy prints. The first photo shows a hotel room. Sarah and Jake, close enough that there's no mistaking what's happening. The second is a screenshot of their messages. Can't wait for Friday, babe. I miss tasting you. The third is a bank statement with the transfers highlighted. Friday hotel. Miss you already. Delete these. Mark can't know. Sarah's mother leans over. Sees the first photo. Gasps so loud the neighboring tables turn. Her father's face drains of color. Monica's hand covers her mouth. The kids don't understand yet, but they sense something breaking. Jake mumbles bathroom and stands so fast his chair tips backward. He doesn't come back. Sarah looks up at Mark, tears already forming. Mark, this isn't. You'll be served officially tomorrow morning, Mark says quietly. The house is already in my name. Remember that boring paperwork you signed in August? That was a quitclaim deed. Her face goes white. The kids will stay with me. Mrs. Okafor has everything. 6 months of evidence. Hotel receipts. Text messages. The 42,000 naira you moved to that account I'm not supposed to know about. He sips his wine. Enjoy the cake. Then he reaches into his pocket, pulls out $100 bill, and places it on the table. Looks at his kids. Emma, David, say goodbye to Mommy. We're going to Grandma's house. Sarah reaches for him. Mark, please, the kids. He doesn't look back. Just takes Emma's hand, lifts David onto his hip, and walks out of the restaurant while chaos erupts behind him. The last thing he hears is Sarah's mother asking, "How could you do this to him? To your children?" Outside, the Lagos night is warm and full of sound, traffic, music from nearby bars, the distant horn of a ship in the lagoon. Mark straps the kids into his car. Emma asks, "Daddy, why was Mommy crying?" Sometimes, Mark says carefully, people make mistakes. Big ones. And those mistakes hurt the people who love them. Is Mommy in trouble? Yeah, baby. She is. He starts the car. Drives toward his mother's house in Ikeja, where he's already moved half their belongings. In the rearview mirror, the restaurant shrinks to a point of light. Then disappears. Comment below, would you have done the same thing? If you're just joining us, let me catch you up real quick. Mark Chen spent 6 months preparing the perfect revenge after catching his wife Sarah in a video call with her co-worker Jake. He didn't yell. Didn't confront her. Didn't break down. He planned. Moved money. Secured the house. Collected evidence. Then, at her 35th birthday dinner, in front of family, friends, and the man she was cheating with, he served her divorce papers with every text message, hotel receipt, and explicit photo printed in glossy 8 by 10. Her parents saw everything. So did their 2 kids. Mark walked out with Emma and David while Sarah's world collapsed behind him. But this story doesn't end there. Not even close. 3 days after the birthday dinner, Mark's phone doesn't stop ringing. Sunday morning, he's making breakfast for the kids at his mother's house in Ikeja when Sarah's sister Monica calls. He sends it to voicemail. She calls again. And again. On the 4th try, he answers. Mark, please, she's a mess. She hasn't eaten. She won't leave her room. Mom and Dad won't even look at her. Mark flips pancakes, phone wedged between shoulder and ear. Emma colors at the kitchen table. David watches cartoons in Yoruba, laughing at something. Monica, I'm making breakfast for my kids. Kids who watch their mother get exposed as a liar in front of everyone who matters. What exactly do you want me to do? Silence on the other end. Then, she made a mistake. She made a choice. Every Friday for 6 months. That's 24 choices, Monica. Not one mistake. He can hear Monica crying now. She loves you. She loved the idea of me. The stable husband. The nice house. The perfect Instagram photos. She just loved Jake more on Fridays. He hangs up. The pancakes are ready. He serves them with honey and sliced bananas, Emma's favorite. David drowns his in syrup until it looks like a swimming pool. Daddy, Emma says quietly. Is Mommy coming back? Mark sits beside her. Wipes syrup off David's chin. Mommy's going to live somewhere else for a while. But she still loves you both very much. This is between grown-ups, okay? You two didn't do anything wrong. Emma nods, but her eyes are too wise for 8 years old. She's already figuring it out. That afternoon, Sarah's father calls. Chief Adebayo, the man who called Mark's son before he called him son-in-law. The man who taught him to play chess, who gave him advice about business, who cried at their wedding. Mark. It's me. Sir. A long pause. I want you to know. I didn't raise her to be like this. Her mother and we're ashamed. We didn't know. Mark's throat tightens. I know, sir. Those children need stability. They need you. Whatever you need from us, character witnesses, help with the kids, you have it. Sarah is my daughter, but what she did. He trails off. That's not the girl I raised. Thank you, sir. And Mark? I'm sorry. Truly. After he hangs up, Mark sits in his old bedroom at his mother's house, the one he grew up in, walls still covered with old certificates and family photos. His mother brings him tea without asking. Sits beside him on the bed. You did the right thing, she says in Yoruba. A woman who disrespects her husband disrespects her home. You gave her everything, and she threw it away. I just want the kids to be okay. They will be. Because they have you. Let me tell you what's happening to Sarah. She's staying in Monica's one-bedroom apartment in Yaba. Sleeping on the couch. Hasn't been to work in 3 days. Her phone fills with messages. Friends asking what happened. Co-workers who heard rumors. Her boss requesting a meeting. Jake blocked her number the night of the dinner. Deleted all social media. Transferred to the company's Port Harcourt office 3 days later. Gone like smoke. Monday morning, she finally opens her laptop. 4 to 7 emails from HR. The photos Mark distributed at dinner made it to the office. Someone forwarded them to the company group chat. Her promotion is under review. They're calling it conduct unbecoming of a senior VP. She calls Mark. He doesn't answer. She calls again. Again. On the 5th try, he picks up. What, Sarah? Please. Can we talk? Just the two of us. We have lawyers for that now. Mark, I'm begging you. You want to know what hurts most? His voice is colder than she's ever heard. It's not even the cheating. It's that you came home to me every Friday night smelling like hotel soap and lies, and you kissed our kids goodnight like nothing happened. You sat beside me in church. You smiled in photos. You let everyone call us goals. I'm sorry. You're sorry you got caught. There's a difference. He hangs up. Sarah throws her phone across the room. It cracks against the wall. Monica finds her crying on the bathroom floor an hour later. He won't forgive me, Sarah sobs. He won't even talk to me. Monica, I lost everything. My husband. My kids. My parents won't answer my calls. Work is asking me to resign. And Jake, she laughs bitterly. Jake acts like I don't exist. Monica sits beside her. Doesn't offer empty comfort. What did you expect? She finally says. You thought you could have both? The perfect family and the secret boyfriend? That's not how life works, Sarah. You gambled and lost. I didn't mean for it to happen. Then how did it happen 24 times? Sarah has no answer. That night, she scrolls through Instagram. Finds Mark's profile. He's changed his bio, removed husband to Sarah and replaced it with dad to Emma and David. His latest post is from 2 days ago. A photo of the kids at the beach, building sandcastles. Both smiling. The caption reads, New beginnings. 3,000 likes. 200 comments. Everyone congratulating him. Everyone calling him strong. Someone comments, You deserve better, King. Another, Those kids are lucky to have you. Sarah closes the app before she reads more. But she can't stop thinking about something Monica said. You gambled and lost. The worst part? She's starting to realize she lost more than she ever had to begin with. 6 weeks later, they meet in family court. Mark arrives with Mrs. Okafor and a briefcase full of evidence. He's wearing a black suit, hair freshly cut, expression calm. Sarah arrives with a lawyer her father hired, Mr. Bamidil, expensive but good. She's in a navy dress, makeup covering the dark circles that won't go away. They don't make eye contact. The judge is a woman in her 50s with sharp eyes and zero patience for nonsense, Justice Nwosu. She reviews the evidence Mark's team submitted, timeline of the affair, financial records, character statements from Sarah's own parents. Then she looks at Sarah. Mrs. Chen, do you dispute any of the evidence presented? Sarah's lawyer stands. Your Honor, my client acknowledges that mistakes were made. Mistakes? Justice Nwosu cuts him off. Mr. Bamidil, I've reviewed hotel receipts spanning 6 months, explicit messages, and evidence of financial misappropriation. These aren't mistakes. These are calculated choices. She turns to Sarah directly. Do you dispute the evidence? Sarah's voice is barely above a whisper. No, Your Honor. And the children? Emma and David, ages 8 and 6. Where have they been staying? With their father, Your Honor, Mrs. Okafor says. Mr. Chen has maintained stable housing, enrolled them in school, ensured they attend counseling. The children have expressed they feel safe with him. Justice Nwosu makes notes. Mrs. Chen, what arrangement are you proposing? Sarah's lawyer speaks for her. Joint custody. Your Honor. My client loves her children and wishes to maintain. Your Honor, Mrs. Okafor interrupts. May I present additional evidence? She hands the judge a tablet. On screen, a video. It's from the birthday dinner. Someone recorded the moment Mark revealed everything. Sarah's face when she opened the envelope, her mother's gasp, the children's confusion. Emma's voice, small and scared. Daddy, why is everyone upset? Justice Nwosu watches the full 3 minutes in silence. When it ends, she removes her glasses. Mrs. Chen, you exposed your children to your infidelity in the worst possible way. They witnessed your betrayal of their father and watched their family disintegrate in real time. That wasn't her fault, Mr. Bamidil tries. It absolutely was her fault, Justice Nwosu snaps. She created the situation. Mr. Chen simply revealed the truth. She looks at Mark. Mr. Chen, what custody arrangement are you seeking? Primary physical custody. Your Honor. She can have supervised visits once a month until we establish that she's stable and the children feel comfortable. Sarah gasps. Once a month? They're my children. Justice Nwosu raises a hand. Mrs. Chen, You forfeited certain considerations when you chose to betray your family repeatedly. This court's primary concern is the well-being of Emma and David. She makes her ruling. Mark gets the house. Primary custody. Sarah gets supervised visits twice a month, increasing to unsupervised after 6 months if she completes counseling and maintains stable employment. She keeps her car and her personal savings, minus the $42,000 she transferred, which must be returned. This court is adjourned. Outside, on the courthouse steps, Sarah tries to approach Mark. Please, can I at least see them today? Mrs. Okafor steps between them. All contact goes through the lawyers now, Mrs. Chen. You know that. Mark walks to his car without looking back. Sarah watches him drive away. Her father's words echo in her head. You didn't just lose your husband. You lost your honor. 3 months pass. Mark moves back into the house in Lekki with the kids. Repaints Emma's room pink at her request. Builds David a tree house in the backyard with help from his brother. The kids start therapy. They talk about divorce, about trust, about how love doesn't always look like you expect. Emma asks hard questions. Did Mommy stop loving us? Mark answers honestly, Mommy made bad choices. But her bad choices weren't about you. They were about her. You two are perfect exactly as you are. Slowly, routines return. School drop-offs and homework battles. Football practice for David. Art classes for Emma. Sunday dinners at Mark's mother's house, where she makes jollof rice and tells old stories. On weekends, Mark takes them to the beach. To movies. To the bookstore where they spend hours picking new stories. One Saturday, Emma finds her parents' wedding album in a closet. Daddy, you look so happy here. Mark sits beside her, studies the photo. 2 people who thought they knew what forever meant. I was happy, baby. That was real. But Mommy broke it. Yeah, she did. Will you be happy again? Mark pulls her close. I'm already happy. I have you and your brother. That's everything. But late at night, when the kids are asleep, Mark sits on the balcony and lets himself feel it all. The betrayal. The humiliation. The death of the life he thought they were building. Not because he misses Sarah. Because he misses the version of himself who still believed in her. Meanwhile, Sarah's life continues its downward spiral. She did resign from her job. Too much gossip. Too many stares. Took a position at a smaller firm in Ikeja for half the salary. Moved into a 1-bedroom flat in Bagada, the best she can afford now. Her parents still won't speak to her. Monica talks to her, but there's distance now. A careful boundary. Once a month, she sees her kids in a supervised visit at a family center in Lekki. Emma is polite but distant. David barely makes eye contact. They tell her about school, about their new rooms, about the treehouse Daddy built. They don't ask when they can come home with her. Because they already are home. With Mark. After the 3rd visit, Sarah sits in her car in the parking lot and finally understands what she's lost. Not just Mark. Not just the house. She lost her children's trust. Their easy laughter. The way they used to run to her when she came home. She traded all of it for Friday afternoons with a man who disappeared the second things got difficult. The weight of that realization breaks something in her that won't ever fully heal. 6 months after the divorce. Mark is at a coffee shop in Victoria Island, meeting with clients about a new project. The door chimes. Jake walks in. Their eyes meet across the room. Jake freezes. Considers leaving. But Mark waves him over. Sit, Mark says. Not a request. Jake sits, palm sweating. I'm not going to hit you, Mark says calmly. But I need you to answer one question honestly. Jake nods. Did you love her? Even a little. Jake looks down. Shakes his head. She was just there. Attention when I wanted it. No commitment. No pressure. I never thought about leaving my girlfriend for her. It was just fun. Mark laughs, a cold, hollow sound. Fun. You destroyed a family for fun. I didn't mean. You both didn't mean anything. That's the problem. Mark stands. She lost her kids, her home, her parents' respect. You transferred cities and moved on. Meanwhile, my kids are in therapy learning how to trust again. He leans down, voice quiet. You live with that. Every day. You live with knowing you were just fun, and she gave up everything for you. And you couldn't even bother to stay. Mark walks out. Jake sits alone, coffee going cold in front of him. For the first time since that birthday dinner, he feels something close to guilt. But it's too late for that now. 1 year later, Mark takes Emma and David to Calabar for a weekend trip. They stay at a small resort by the beach, the same place he and Sarah went on their first vacation together. But this time, it's different. The kids run along the shore, collecting shells. Emma finds a starfish and shouts for her dad to come see. David builds a sandcastle so elaborate it takes 2 hours. Mark watches them, phone in hand, and realizes something. He's not angry anymore. Not at Sarah. Not at Jake. Not even at himself for not seeing it sooner. He's just free. That evening, after the kids fall asleep, Mark sits on the balcony overlooking the ocean. He thinks about Sarah. Wonders if she's okay. Hopes, despite everything, that she finds a way to heal. Not for her sake. For Emma and David's. Because they still love their mother, even if they don't understand her choices. He deletes the last photo of them together from his phone. Opens the message thread with Mrs. Okafor. The kids are ready for unsupervised visits. Let's set it up. Because holding on to anger doesn't protect his children. Letting go does. The next morning, Mark and the kids walk along the beach at sunrise. Emma takes his hand. Daddy, are you happy now? Mark looks at his children, resilient, kind, stronger than they should have to be. Yeah, baby. I really am. And he means it. Mark never updated his story again. Sarah completed counseling and now has the kids every other weekend. Emma and David are doing well. Jake moved to Port Harcourt and was recently engaged. Some stories don't need perfect endings, just honest ones. This story came from a real post on Reddit's pro-revenge forum. OP never followed up. Sometimes the best revenge isn't dramatic. It's simply walking away with your dignity intact and rebuilding everything they tried to destroy. If this story hit you hard, hit that like button and subscribe. Comment below. At what point did you realize Mark was playing the long game? And was the birthday dinner reveal too harsh, or exactly what Sarah deserved? I read every comment. See you in the next story. Subscribe for more real stories plus suggested videos.